John, another season on the horizon. You're back really early, and firstly to thank you on behalf of Raith TV for inviting us down. Good that the club are so open and keen to chat with us. You've been very, very busy early doors. Tell us about the progress so far with building your squad.
Yeah, we're delighted with the work that we've done. We've done a lot of work in a week actually. Immediately after the season finished, we were very active, and we were very successful. Within a week, we had everyone we went for, we got. And so we're actually surprised at how well we did, and so it made going on holiday a bit easier. However, if that was giving the impression that my phone never went on holiday, I'd be giving a false impression, because it was still very active with all sorts of things going on. So yeah, no, myself and Smudger, there were one or two guys in on the Monday, our own players, and then the Tuesday. And we sorted bits and pieces out there, and then we had to follow up on the one or two sort of contacts that we had made prior to the season finishing, followed up on some of them, and then got to work with new ones, and a few trips here and there to meet players and just, put our sort of proposal over to them and our ambition and the way we go about things here. And as I say, very successful. I'm very pleased with where we are with the squad. So it's great to be back in. We actually started on Thursday. I think everyone now knows that we've got a hybrid situation. It's one that worked very successfully in my previous time here. And again, that's not necessarily why we're doing it, because we were there. I think the situation is that we've been full time completely for the last 2 years, and it's not necessarily been successful, so why should we go for a third time? So we're trying something, and hopefully that can give some contribution to us going on and being successful. It does open up players that we probably wouldn't have been able to get, because their earnings and their day job and part-time means that they're out of price range. So we've been able to bridge that gap and been able to go into that market, and it's been, I think it's the proof of the pudding's on the pitch, every Saturday between now and May and sometime next year, and that still remains to be seen, but I'm very happy with what we have. There's one or two guys still on holiday, but come Monday, Tuesday we'll have the full squad here, so there's guys getting a wee start. From the point of view of players, we were late in finishing, but some of the players we brought in actually finished, a couple of weeks prior to that. So it's good to get them in and get them going. And as I say, there's one or two to come back in at the beginning of the week, and then we'll be up to virtually the full quota. You'll probably realise if you start counting the amount of players we've got, we're up there. We've got a squad. We can play a game tomorrow. We've got a squad, and not every club can say that at the minute. I think there's still teams having to build squads from scratch and that. So we're very happy with the work that we've done. So we've been in now, and as you would expect, with the break being so short, there's very little time for the players to put on, loads of weight, and players look after themselves much more. But yeah, there's no doubt that, when you go on holiday, you'll eat a bit more and you'll drink a bit more than you would normally do, but such is the short time scale. But the guys are coming back, and they're in good condition, and we're working them hard, which is what they would expect. And for me, I love this time of the year. I'm not sure the boys do, but I like the work ethic of the whole thing. I like the whole work ethic. Getting your fitness up for the whole season, and we like to have good maintenance training throughout the whole season, and so this is a base that we're going to develop, and so really I just love this time of the season. So we've got 4 good games, different games lined up as well, and pre-season friendlies, so that'll give everyone an opportunity to stake a claim, a jersey for the start. And we've got a nice couple of games to start in the League Cup with Dundee coming here, and then a wee trip up to Inverness. So two good games from Championship clubs, and so good.
I remember a number of years back you said to me that you can't win league campaigns pre-season, but you can lose them if your fitness isn't sharp enough. Is it a different challenge this year coming in because you've got the chance to build your own squad and put your own imprint on it in terms of fitness and the motivations that are there for players?
Yeah, but although that is, it's still the same, with regards to, we've got young Blair, Dottie's been the sports scientist, he probably came along, he did come along actually, like Tom Ritchie, so he's been in with us all the time, and he's doing his fitness work, and then we take over with the football stuff, we're selling Smudger, and it's working a treat, so it's still hard work, regardless of what club you're with, what league you're in, at this time of the season, everyone's working their socks off, and we're doing exactly that, so yeah, it's different because we weren't in it this time last year, but the work's the same, different. At this time last year I was just waiting to start going on trips, looking at potential opponents for Celtic in Champions League, and I was getting prepared for going all over the place, and did end up going all over the place. So I wasn't taking in charge of a team in pre-season last year or for 2 or 3 seasons, but the work's the same, the work's the same. We're much more down the sports science route rather than the sand dunes of Gullen and the likes, as we've all done in the past, and so it's much more scientific, and the balls are out from day one, and we're no like 2 weeks into pre-season before anyone sees a ball. It's shorter now, the pre-season's shorter, the season's extended, and it's very short, so yeah, different, but the work's the same basically, the work's the same, you just got to work hard, different ways to get them to work hard and different ways we do it, but still hard work.
Okay John, can I ask you about the guys that you brought in? I will go through them in turn. I'm really keen to hear what your thinking is, how you've had them watched and how you've identified. First up's Kieran, full-back, defender, what's his key attributes in terms of catching your eye, and what will he bring to us fans?
Well, of course, we're trying to fill positions within our team that we feel we need to strengthen. Obviously, left back, Callum Crane did very well for us last year, but Callum chose to he was a Livingston player, he was on loan to us, so he was going back to Livingston and decided to go to Edinburgh City, so we were always going to have to get a natural left-sided defender in. Now, having played against Airdrie and having known Kieran for a number of years actually, when he was at Hamilton a way back and places like Clyde on loan and what have you, he's always been one who struck me as good athletic attributes, which by getting up and down the pitch with a very, very good left foot, and he's a good size, and he's played in the league, he knows the league, he knows obviously Raith Rovers, I'm sure you'll see the way that we play, and he's went in and played at centre back as well for Airdrie, but we see him as playing as a left back with a good engine to get up and down the pitch with good quality in the final third, and that can't be bad, so that we need that, maybe at times our final ball in that position could have been better, and we're hoping that Kieran's going to bring that to the football club so it can get us a good ball into the box. It's going to give us more opportunities to score goals.
Another Airdrie player of recent times, João Victoria,
yeah.
A threat up front. Are you viewing him more as a striker or somebody that can play wide, or is it the notion that, I know you like players that can play across several positions?
Yeah, well again, I think everyone with Rovers minded will have seen João doing very well against us, whether that was with Airdrie or Stranraer, and so he's one of them who's done very well against us, and so again very similar to Kieran, when you're playing against them there's players who will attract your attention just because they're playing very well against you, and that is the case. I think on his day he's a match winner, very, very deceptive, very tricky, a good size, good pace, and he's going to be a little bit of a maverick, I think. He's going to produce things out of nothing, and I think there'll be times he'll probably be a little bit frustrating, but I think we can handle that. We're going to work hard with him and get him thinking the way that we play, and go through our style of play and the positions that we want to pick up. So I don't see him as an out-and-out striker. I see him one who's going to come in from a side, probably coming in from the left side and causing a threat from that position. Looking for him and Kieran to link up down that left-hand side. They could strike up a good partnership. So But he's got goals in him. He's got goals in him, and that's certainly why we've brought him here.
Brad Spencer, we've seen up quite a bit at close range, most notably in the playoff games. Midfield player, well travelled. Key attributes. What caught your eye about him?
Well, the performances that he's played against us, I think when he's played against us with Forfar, I mean, the last league game up there, not in the playoff games, but the last league game, he's picked out a great pass from, he's probably somewhere around about the halfway line on the opposite side of the pitch. He's hit a great diagonal ball out to Lewis Moore, who was playing wide right, and it was a great ball out, and it meant that we had to shift, and we had to shift. It left space in the middle of the defence for Hilson, who ends up scoring a goal. And so his range of pass and his vision and his capabilities of passing and seeing a pass and seeing runners and picking out the pass to find the runners is a good age. It's a great age for us to get him at. He's got good physical attributes. He's hungry. He wants to do well. He's ambitious. He was with Kilmarnock on a full-time basis. So he's still young. He's still, came here to continue his development and to kick on and go on and, to help the club be successful and be successful himself. These are very, very important attributes. You want people who are still hungry, who still want to achieve things. That's key. And the performances that he put on, again, when you're watching games, you're very much focused on your own team, but there'll be certain players who will actually still catch your eye, and he's certainly been one of them.
The other introduction into the midfield probably caught Rovers fans. It was probably a balance of delight and surprise, was Regan Hendry. I think Regan's social media interactions with the fans seem to have played a bit of a part, and he's certainly been hugely respectful to Raith Rovers, talking about how much he enjoyed his time here. You've spoken many times about Regan, but what does it mean to actually have him as our player as opposed to a loanee?
It means everything. It means everything. We're delighted to get Regan. I can only talk about the time that he had here. The time that I've been here since September, we had to bring in players immediately, and Regan was one who followed me from Celtic, and he hit the ground running, and his performances were of the top drawer, really, really good level. His passing range, his awareness, his vision, and being capable of making the passes was making him, a top player in this league. Unfortunately, it was cut short with his injury that he sustained at Forfar, his knee injury. So he's back from that, and delighted, absolutely delighted. There is an element of surprise to get him as well, but absolutely delighted. And he's one of the ones who will be back at the beginning of the week, on Monday, and so we've got a lot of quality. We're going to have an awful lot of quality in that midfield area, and coming to add to our existing players of Lewis Vaughan, who will be back probably in September. Tony Dingwall, who actually had an operation on his ankle towards the end of the season. After the season finished, they'll be a little bit late in getting back in, but adding these guys to what we've got, there's a lot of quality there.
Two other lads coming in. I think I'm maybe stretching it a bit calling them lads, but I don't need to ask you about Grant Anderson or David McGlynn, what they bring. As fans, we've seen that many times over. What was the thinking behind bringing the two guys back? Was it about experience? Was it about their character? Ultimately, it's got to be about their footballing ability. But what grabbed you to pick up the phone for these two?
All those qualities, the qualities that you mentioned there. Yes, their experience, their character. The fact that they've been in the dressing room with myself and Paul Smith as well, they know what we expect, they know the standards we expect. And we know, I signed Grant Anderson, and then unfortunately I went to Hearts, so I didn't get a chance to really work with Grant Anderson. But he was here at a successful time and played a big part in that. He's a very, very good athlete. For 32, I've watched him this morning, and his running capabilities are second to none. He's a great size. He's very, very good in the air. And so we've got a wee role for Grant to play, a big role to play. He can play a number of positions, and so as we get towards the pre-season games, and during the pre-season games, don't be surprised to see him playing up front. So we've got a view to, you look around and you look at the strikers that are kicking about, and if you're all the fans at the minute, whether you're a Raith Rovers fan or not, you're looking at your teams, and you're probably looking at the guys in League One, and they go for this club to that club and round about. And I'm looking at some of the strikers and thinking, and you're just thinking, can we do something out the box that might just surprise someone, And I'm hoping that Grant might be that one who can maybe just do exactly that. Maybe we can play him in a position that might be something different, that might just produce goals for us, because we've obviously lost Kevin, and that's a big blow to lose that amount of goals, and it'll be difficult to replace that amount of goals. And so maybe we're going to have to share the goals across the team a bit more evenly. And we don't ever sort of try to rely on one player, but nonetheless Kevin did score a lot of goals, and so quite naturally that would be difficult to replace. So we may have to share the goals more across the team. We'd be delighted if someone can come and score the same amount of goals or get even close to the amount of goals that Kevin did. And obviously that's a challenge, and that's what we're trying to do. But at the same time, if the whole team can produce more goals, not more goals, I'd be delighted if we can still score the amount of goals as a team we scored, to be third top goal scorers in Scotland, only Celtic and Rangers have been in front of us. That's no mean feat. So if we can score the same amount of goals as last year, and they're shared about the team, I'd be absolutely delighted. So yeah, and Davey, as everyone knows, he's a legend here, inducted into the Hall of Fame. That experience as a goalkeeper, the confidence that he's got, and the confidence that he instill into the other goalkeepers and into the defence, with that experience, should speak volumes. And that's something we maybe need. We need. So he's going to double up as vying for the number one position, but also from the coaching point of view. So at the minute, both Dean and Robbie have contracts for next season. Obviously, Robbie's done his Achilles tendon, and he's working extremely hard. And there's a lot of good positive news with Robbie. So that's great. That's fantastic. Obviously, we are negotiating with Dean, so we still have to wait and see. But we've got Davey there, who's going to go for the number one jersey, vie for the number one jersey, and whether it's Dean, certainly Robbie's going to come back at some part in the season, and we'll have potentially 3 good goalkeepers with Davey then either being the number one, or maybe just taking a little kind of a back seat and being the goalkeeping coach, but being there ready. So knowing David's character, he'll certainly be pushing for the number one.
You mentioned earlier about replacing Kevin. Does the hunt always go on for that? I think we've had a 30-goal striker twice in 20 years here. So I'm sure managers before you have been looking for that nugget. But are you looking to strengthen the forward line?
Yeah, but I mean we've got young Kieran, and he is only a young boy, but he impresses me every single day in training. I'll tell you, he just impresses you in everything he does. So sometimes you might not need to look too far, and Jack Smith's come back, and Jack had his issues in regards to fitness and staying fit, but he's another one who he's actually a right good player. So I'm not saying we're just waiting on this, but I'm not panicking by any stretch of the imagination, because what we've got might just be might well be enough, so we are looking for the diamond. We're not just I'm not panicking at all. I said earlier, we can put a team out tomorrow. We're ready to go. We are ready to go. We've got training to do, yeah, but as the squad, we're ready to go. So yeah, if we can find the diamond, the nugget, whatever you want to call it, the one, then fine, but there's still the loan opportunities will not come right now. There's still all these clubs out there who have got contacts with. They're not telling you they're going to send this one out on loan now or that one out on loan. And there's some good young strikers who will become available. And I've particularly got one that I would really, really, really like to get, and that would just be like, the jackpot. So whether I get him, whether we don't, that just remains to be seen. But I'm very, very happy, calm about where we are and what we need to do. We don't need to do an awful lot, and as I say, we might actually have them here right now.
we mentioned the guys who have come in, but we've got 4 of our own players who have committed, with Davo, Dave Mackay, Ross Matthews and Jack Smith. Delighted to have them as a kind of backbone of your squad. Continuity's there.
Yeah, without doubt. Yeah, you would always want Ian Davison at your football club. You know, he means so much, and I think his performances, and particularly against Queen of the South in the last game, getting the man of the match in that, I think that speaks volumes for Ian. You know, I know in that particular day Benny did exceptionally well, and behind that Dean had a very good game. You know, but Dobie have been scoring goals all season, and they didn't score a goal against us. You know, so it was partly down to the central defenders doing particularly well, and Ian being part of that. So yeah, delighted to to have him back. Yeah, Dave Mackay wasn't necessarily in the team when we got here and for a long spell, but he got in there maybe a dozen games to go, and he picked up things, he learnt things, he gained more experience, and then he became a regular in the team. So delighted to have him back in board. No, absolutely no doubt about it. And I look for big things. I look for things for him to kick on and to improve, and not just he has to. He's a big lad, don't get me wrong, but he can't be the quiet one in the background. He needs to step out and say, I'm your man. I'm here. I'm going to produce here. I'm no just happy just being a squad or a jersey filler. I want to go and be. I want to be the main. Smudger was very good, and when we were chatting with Dave and saying it, when he was at Dundee United, Richard Gough played right back until such times, because they had like say David Neary and Paul Higgerty, and he had to bide his time until he got in there. And it's a similar kind of situation that Dave might have to go and play in a out of position, but learn and gain the experience, and then move into that position and kick on from that position, having gained all this kind of experience. Or he might just go and say, bring it on. I'm up for the challenge. I'll go and take Ian's place or Benny's place. So that's the attitude that I want, and I'm certainly looking for. Ross finished the season on a high, very, very good. So we're delighted to get Ross back in. He's been here a long time, and hopefully here, a good bit more. But he's sometimes you've got to get that blend in midfield right. And we can't have. We want quality, but we need the energy, we need the drive, we need the commitment, we need the tackles, we need the getting the ball back, we need the pressing. And Ross adds all that, and we can't all be. I'm not suggesting he's not, because he has got quality, and I think he got better, and I think his quality got better, and I think the way the style of play, he's learnt from that. But we also need that guy who's going to go around and make some tackles and let the opposition know that we're in a game here, and Ross brings that to the table. And young Jack, is one that, as I say, he had his health issues, his sort of problems. He had an operation, and he got through that, and he was back playing in the reserves, and he actually did very well coming on a game against Brecon, before the new year, maybe November time, and he did really well coming on late and getting a great ball in for probably Kevin Nisbet to score. And you thought, but he didn't. His injuries didn't let him kick on. But we've worked on him, and the physios have got him kind of right now. And he's come back and he's training very well. So, we're delighted to be working with him next season. And as I said earlier, we may have the strikers here.
Does this feel more like your squad?
It's early days. We're, you're always setting standards. You're always setting standards for day one, and so that's what we do. And then the ones that are coming in are hopefully recognising that, picking up on it, and putting that good impression across what we want. So there's absolutely no doubt. We came in, it was September. We didn't get to do this kind of work, but we still had a lot of time to work with the guys last year. So under any illusions or no passing any bucks. We were in a long time last year, but certainly we're in at this point in time now, and we know the work is getting done, and we know the work that's going to get done, and we know where we want to go, and we know what we want to do. We're just going out and doing it.
Is this the greatest challenge when you get the opportunity to go the whole distance? I was speaking to Paul earlier a bit about actually building your own squad, taking them through pre-season and going through the whole journey of a league campaign. Is that a bigger kind of carrot than last year?
Well, I say you take responsibility for everything you do, whether it's from September or whenever it is. So type of guy who will take ownership and take responsibilities. So it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. It's from the start, and that's good. That's better, you know. It's fine. I'm cool with it. You know, that's a job, you know. So I'm cool.
I can see a bit of movement down in the tunnel, so we'll let you get away and get on with the afternoon session. How is the hybrid model going to work? How for training? Kind of schedules, what will that look like?
Very similar to what we worked previously when we were in this situation. The full-time guys will be in on a Monday morning, and then the full-time guys will come in on a Tuesday afternoon. They'll train on the Tuesday afternoon, and then they'll stick around until the part-time guys come in on the Tuesday night, and we'll train here on a Tuesday evening, everyone together, and part-time guys will go back to their work on a Wednesday morning. The full-time guys will have a day off, and then on a Thursday the full-time guys will be in the afternoon, and then the part-time guys will come in the evening, and everyone will be together. Full-time, part-time will be together on the Thursday, and then Friday mornings it'll be the full-time guys again, only, and then on a Saturday we'll come together for the games.
Massive benefit to have this environment round about us with the surface.
Yeah, big, massive difference. Last year just training here all the time, it's superb to train on, and it's a great surface, and it's another attraction for guys who want to come here, because we've played on some of the other arsehole turfs, and it's all down to the length of time that they're down and all the rest of it. No doubt ours might get into that situation at some time down the line. But if I had a choice of playing here on this surface and playing at some of the other ones, you know, I know where I'd want to play, because it's a great surface. And it's great for training, and from previous times here we were having to go to Dalgety Bay, and we're very grateful to them at that particular time, and the local council for letting us get in there, and at Beath High School. But you've got all the travelling to get, you know, it's just all on the road, but it's all the kit's got to go there, and setting up goals and all the rest of it, and it just takes out the equation, and it makes life a bit easier to have everything based here.
We'll chat many times during the season, but it sounds that you're happy with where things are at, much as there's still a bit of business to be done, John.
Yeah, we are. No, there's not a lot of business to get done. No, there's not a lot of business to get done. We're not finished, but there's not a lot. No, I mean, you know, I'm happy.